3, Team Liquid on the defensive side, and they are stacked up. Look at the C site, 2 players there, one with a paranoia ready and roaring to go, but FNATIC haven't gone there early. I saw the spike outside of it and thought they could fall in the trap.
It's interesting, because a lot of teams on this map in particular will pick to start on that attacking side. So I wonder if there is some sort of plan here for Liquid, because even, as you said, this is no longer their map choice. They have picked to start on that defensive side of this map and allowing FNATIC what is by far their better side.
Well, they started with their defaults, holding the map control. Now they look to take some of their own. It's the A site that their eyes are focused on. Wall up. We've got some info coming, courtesy of soulcas, the Prowler, finding out one as they seek control of this A site. Prowler in towards the tree, fully cleared, nade back site. That's a ton of control, and I think Liquid wise to be playing offside on this one. They had to run for the retake. They'll have plenty of bodies coming. As well, you've lost all your control for FNATIC of your backlines with your Killjoy, the turret's being removed. So there is a gap here for Jamppi. Just depends if Boaster's still going to be watching it when he gets around that corner.
It did take FNATIC quite a lot of time to sort of pick their spot of where they're going to be planting. So a lot of these players from Liquid have been given the opportunity to rotate. Chronicle up close, ready and waiting, paranoid up, and actually, he's going to be cleared. Good start from Redgar, but the trades are immediate. An instant double drop from the side of Liquid, and now getting onto this plant is going to be so difficult. An easy cleanup from Derke in the end.
FNATIC have always been a solid bind team.
Yeah, I guess it's also a map that it's been very good for Liquid, and it's one that we've also seen FNATIC lose. So I think it was definitely one of the best choices they could have had. For now, though, it's just going to be that early start once again. Some minor investments coming through on the defensive side. In fact, actually, you know, a few sheriffs, some ghosts alongside them. So they put a bit of cash into this. They're going to hope to at least do an extra little bit of damage, maybe deny some orb control as well, because that's something that's going to be so deadly for them going forward, especially considering that Derke is the one that's sort of high up on the orb count at the moment. You don't want them getting a showstopper.
This bite definitely has some teeth to it. And there's the first bite for soulcas. Already dropping one. Alfajer down. They're still moving towards this A site, though. They're going to take the control back and look to fight them. I don't know if they're aware of quite how many players are waiting here for this play. Nat snuck up close, but he's caught off guard by Chronicle's spot. Now following up should be difficult. 2 solid kills. Damage done, 31 and 50 HP. I would say Liquid now have the advantage. The only thing that goes well for FNATIC is they still have the spike.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, time ticking though as well. And this could be a major problem. Look at the rotation that's already come through from Jamppi. He's waiting well within that C site, expecting a full rotation to come through, especially with the weaponry on offer. You don't really expect FNATIC to walk into the B side, but I guess that's the bluff that's being called as they will head in.
Damage done is already fantastic for this defensive side, but a serious chance to close this out. I mean, even just look at Sayf. All he needs to do is hit that body shot on either of these players, and they are down. Now, the positioning, very important. We're seeing FNATIC. Obviously, there is a turret, but there's nobody to man that turret to keep it active, so they're flanked wide open. And Derke's already down. Boaster left in a tough position. There's players in front of him, but he doesn't know about the late flank coming through. 50 HP, has to check that it's not being diffused once it's tapped, and that's when Sayf will strike. Beautiful coordination from Team Liquid. They will walk away with the second round. Just a few pistols, and that's enough.
Yeah, I think, again, someone that we've been highlighting all the way through the season is also holding a showstopper.
FNATIC certainly feeling powered down in this round, but there's opportunities, especially on the attack side. These are the buys that can work. As you said, Tom, the showstopper in play could be a bit of a factor for them. A lot of preference towards this A side. Always moving towards soulcas. Nade gonna go through as well here. Alfajer's in a lot of trouble. Those paint shells are coming and they're gonna take him down. Boaster, the last man standing here. Very little to be done in this round. One shot onto Redgar, but 3 more victims to find. Sayf is the first blast pack through. He swings, and there was a trade coming in from Jamppi. Either way,
potential champion spot for 3 of the 4 teams that managed to finish higher. It could be huge for whichever team managed to do it, but for now at least, Liquid starting off strong. Of course, this is where the rifles come back in for FNATIC, where we see these sort of slower default plays, very good at controlling the pace on their attacker side and denying a lot of aggression. For now, though, other than a slight push forward from Sayf, it's relatively passive.
Yeah, I mean, they're not keen to take it down into their spawn. And I mean, with the Viper wall in play over towards this A site from the defenders, they have a good chance to keep these players sectioned out. So I guess it makes sense that they don't want to get too aggressive there in the first couple of rounds. I do expect to see Redgar crossing over with some shrouded steps, though, later on in this game, and causing an annoyance for them. Maybe it's even conditioning early round, early half, that you want them to think and burn up a lot of utility because they think there's a player there. And eventually, you do put someone there when they stop thinking about it. Already, you can see that they've cleared the wall close, and they're starting to gain the space. Preference is most definitely towards this site. The wall up allowed an isolated duel, but it hasn't been won. Now the A site is under serious threat. The showstopper fired up top, and it'll get soulcas.
Huge first pick as well. It makes that retake a little bit less deadly. Post-plant seeming inevitable, but they're trying to hold on to a lot of space on this liquid side, and this flank coming through once again. Jamppi finding a big kill initially, starting to pincer in on the remainder, but Boaster shuts him out. That second layer to the lurk. And now this retake looking pretty rough. Redgar trying a few TikTok plays here and there, and it has garnered a little bit of extra space through. A second even coming up here.
This is winnable now. They've actually got the cover. Look, you can try to spam him off it, but if you walk through that smoke, Redgar's gonna be there. Never mind. Being taken out of this one. They know that's not being diffused. Final players spraying away. Good kill for Sayf. Nade as well. This is so winnable. He taps it. Boaster's got to swing and check if he's still diffusing, but he'll win the duel. Even with a showstopper in his back pocket.
A little bit more passive rather than the breach, which is almost just set up to push forward. And I think that's something FNATIC have mastered. If you try and aggress on them on this map, well, yeah, a lot of the time they're going to have an Odin waiting for you.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah, the defense have one this time.
Good.
Slightly different point.
Look at him.
It's great for plant denial. That's the one thing I'll give it credit for. The plant denial on that C site with everything being made of paper definitely helps quite a bit.
It definitely is good for that, Tom, but there's 3 players on C. That's definitely not the usual way you'll play it. And Killjoy utility, you know? Typically, I'm expecting to see that Odin be far, far back. But instead, it is very much on the site, playing with the team, grabbing the information. They expected to see push out of this round. And with the amount of A hits that have come through, I don't think that they're wrong for making that assumption. But late on, it's going to be just NagZ here. Jump spotting, and he's seen one. Time to fall back. And this is where, again, I expect him to play in the spawn and look for the spams when they make it through, but he's on the rotate to B. This is going to have to be a retake.
I think he's just going round.
No.
Taking his time. Trying to destroy some of the utility. They failed to do so, at least initially, but they will manage to bypass it. Now he can still, that's the thing, he can still play that denial a little bit further forward, and instead Jamppi's using his utility to just push up behind them. Hasn't been spotted at all. Waits to make sure that he can get a couple, and even the aggression forward has failed. Jamppi has just taken over this round completely, and while Chronicle is far too far away.
10 seconds left.
That is just amazing. Redgar should clean this one up. What an unusual position for him to be in. That is gorgeous because you see
there, Prowler not going to catch him, and because of that, he finds that extra little bit of space.
All right, NagZ. He's using the fake smoke, their fake smoke, sitting inside it, and then just holding the angle in the open afterwards. That's not a bad idea. This is where things can get nasty, though. The spray through the wall, a little bit late. They've already started to shift away.
I've seen you do that one from Mound. Why is he not doing that?
Yeah, so when you're on Mound, you might be a little open. You see,
a little open?
My teammate wasn't covering for me like Redgar. If I had Redgar, I'd be on Mound spraying. But, you know, that wasn't the case when I had a Sheriff.
No.
And you shot me in the side of the head.
Yeah,
Appreciate that, Tom. I don't like playing playtest with you.
Well, Boaster.
Or Boaster, yeah, that's goddamn right. Alpha down right away in this round. FNATIC losing one, but that's okay. They can still steam forward to the A site. Boaster might even get a fight here in mid, but Jamppi too quick with it.
He's looking good today. Looking comfortable on the Killjoy. Not playing the operator like he used to, which makes me at least that little bit happier. And for now, defender lockdown is going to almost force them forward in towards this A site. Spike dropped. Both players have just run off without it. Still on the ground behind them. I guess just trying to do as much damage as humanly possible, but Redgar is just waiting on the corner. It's almost like he could sense the Chronicle was there, but not the same for Derke, and the smoke is going to shroud just enough time for them to get this plant.
That's just perfect. Okay, the spray does a little bit of damage, forces the reposition as well, buying time for NagZ to get ever closer. A lot of these walls here are paper thin as well, and you can see that already NagZ is trying to take advantage of that, spraying through 82. Left on Derke, and he's gone. A wall bang headshot from NagZ to close out that round, and we go 4-2.
It's been a great start to the game for Jamppi especially. 7 and 2 on the scoreboard. Nats maybe that little bit further behind. Mitch will be happy.
So
Okay.
things are looking good, but at the same time, on the other side, you've got a nightmare that could be coming to take you in the form of the Nightfall. And a showstopper for Sayf. Certainly no.
They got 4 ults now.
No Cosmic Divide. Not anymore. Nice shot, Derke. A brave challenge onto Redgar. It's worked out here. Traded it back.
One thing at least has stuck over from the old Liquid roster, and that's an Omen operator. Did find in the open. The thing that's worrying here is the fact that soulcas is alone. Now, he can delay with that Nightfall. He could even just counter if he wanted to, or just fall back out of the site. They have been very comfortable just looking for the retakes. The problem is, you're talking about a Viper's Pit and a lockdown available for FNATIC. They have unbelievable amounts of delay potential, and sure, a Nightfall of their own could be fairly impactful here. They may not even need it. Derke, up close, has a showstopper as well. He could end this round on his own.
Oh, this is just for control. You're not even seeing that Viper's Pit touch the spike. Literally just locking out their opponents. And look, Derke, he should have a chance here. Halfway already done on that. He's got to fire eventually. That's too shallow. Not even damage, but it's bought the time, and that's what it's all about. Crowd control, and they've been kept back. Now the 3 players looking to steam back through, but the time already waning. They need some kills right here and now, and the kills are going FNATIC's way. You might think about saving, but that's not an option anymore. Sayf's down below. He's on the site, and the Viper's Pit is dropped to give them vision. Well handled by FNATIC. 1 player lost. They want to handle it, and their ideas seem to be centered around B. A lot of players here, no control over C, and a turret left to watch A long push. Yeah. Player there as well, Alpha almost wants to catch them pushing, like they'll see the turret, they'll think they've got the space, and then he'll punish. This is where Team Liquid push up, take A main control. soulcas now on the wall, and he's got one, but where's the fadeaway? How does he cross back? He'll be spotted on the way, and he'll take a second. He's done more than enough.
Yeah, that's the thing. You talk about the fadeaway, but 2 kills, 1 death. He's allowed for rotations to come in from his teammates. He's done an impeccable job of just holding down this side of the map. They've also got the broken door locked down as well. There's not really many places for FNATIC to go without having to eliminate someone along their path. The A site is somewhat open for business, but you can see that Redgar's already set up with the operator. A misstep here could be another man advantage.
Well, that plan's coming through either way, and Team Liquid sit ready, as you said, to convert over those advantages with FNATIC. Not really having a safe place to play from, maybe tree, but they need something else, a corner of their own, and they'll get it. NagZ is down. Oh no, Jamppi! He's gone running in with a shorty. You can't expect that kind of play. A kill from Redgar leaves just 1 man, and he's so far away. He can never stop this defuse, and with a bullet in his head, that's assured. Team Liquid back on the scoreboard.
I feel like Jamppi's just...
There's a good start to this one. Sayf down already, player close though. This is gonna come down to timing. What corner's gonna be checked? The shot's missed! Down to the shorty, and Redgar wins it!
No way.
That is a strange fight, to say the least. You might be wondering why Boaster's spraying the floor, worried about Killjoy utility, but it's on B this round. They've got their control, but this is where NagZ would have the opportunity to make that spray play. Unfortunately, he's back down to a Phantom.
Oh, that's been heard by Alpha. Bear in mind, Redgar is down to a slither of HP. Didn't get rid of it. Well, an easy kill in the end. And that removes 1 prong to this 3-man retake. The rest all coming from the same angle. It's going to be much more problematic.
We had a good smoke down a moment ago to keep them back, allow the plant. But now it's all about denying that defuse. They've got the angle, 2 players on mound as well. Derke up close. He's just an annoyance for this squad. Nano off. And so too are the players of Team Liquid, off the site and out of here, running to the spawn to save these weapons. That's FNATIC bouncing right back and looking very good doing it as well. 4 players alive at the end of this round.
Yeah, it does feel if they're allowed to get into their post plants, it almost seems like they're unstoppable. Like, there's been moments in some of the retakes where it's like, okay, maybe a 2v2, but if it's earlier in the round and they have...
for that. I think you play against him once or twice. I know, just once. You play against him once and you're like, wow, this weapon is way better than I thought it was. A lot of players here outside C. Orb already picked up, noise heard. NagZ is on the rotate, even getting Sayf, starting to move over into position. And that means there's a ton of stopping utility on this Liquid side ready to greet the FNATIC players. But they haven't just boxed themselves in. They haven't left themselves with only 1 option. Turrets watching mid will be destroyed. and the A site was being watched for the A push. So they still have the chance to take it back somewhere else. And they are going to be.
Yeah, that's the thing.
There's
All the information is going to be there, though. Like, you've got the A push already, C push as well. You can just see the rotation coming through from the side of Liquid, stacking up this B site almost completely. But now, again, something FNATIC are masters of in the late round, they're going to start moving their way back, having those prowlers to just clear some of these more aggressive positions, some of the spots that Liquid could have taken while that spot was vacant. However, they will still have some defensive capabilities, and they'll be decimated by a showstopper.
Yeah, that fake smoke on B really baited them in. Boaster using his utility well just to buy those extra couple of seconds. Nice position from Derke. It's not expected. soulcas, he spotted him though, and will win the fight on a sliver of health. Traded out afterwards, but that is more than I thought he was getting. FNATIC still have the man advantage though. And with the spike planted, time ticking away, it's not in a great spot for them to defend from Mound, but at the end of the day, they've got the bodies to throw at this one. Team Liquid need to go huge on an individual level. Only 2 rifles making their way through as well. Sayf's already burned up his nade. Now lose Redgar right away. Man that was doing all the damage last time on Lotus. NagZ tries to fill his boost. There's 2, but a snake bite behind him will catch him off guard. Just 2 health left, and that was more than enough. With Sayf falling, we're neck and neck.
It is much better start again. We see this aggressive push from Redgar. He has had a lot of success with this operator. Taking down Derke, he has easily been the best player so far in this half. And for now, at least, FNATIC are going to have to try and work with that. And they do have a Viper's Pit, as does NagZ, but maybe not the weapon you want in a Viper's Pit. I don't even think you can argue that one.
I can actually. Rate of fire is pretty high. You just spray a line across it if they're already in there. Yeah, tracers are not great. That's maybe put a silencer on it first. Already trades in for Jamppi. B site under threat. There's the Viper's Pit. Waiting for that to come through. The plant should be safe. Now here's the thing. Fighting through a pit with this, not actually that bad. He's going to use his own. A counter pit in play. Sayf actually needs to stay alive here, section these players off. It's his position that they're most likely to be in. It's where the Viper's Pit doesn't intersect, but the spike is covered. They're able to get on it. Snake bites fired through, a little shallow actually, almost blocking them in. They don't want to run through and
Leo's
get vulnerable. Leo there, good to get the kill. You know, he's just being sat up close, tanking those shots through, and he'll survive even still. Again, a sliver of health. He just needs the one, and there it is from NagZ. Oh, and he's got another! The Odin dropping the pit and getting the round for this squad.
Too often.
NagZ can get it. The time is close. I think he has it just about.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. It's from the grave. Chronicle finding 2. We looked at him there.
Of course, it takes a second for the pit to fall as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just ridiculous. A round 1 from the grave, and 6 now on the board for FNATIC. Team Liquid in a scrap to find this final, but soulcas was pushed back by every piece of utility they have in their arsenal. Now a nade online as well. It's going to make it around the corner, and it is on that lockdown. Out of the round. Canceling out every play they try to make here. A Nightfall in play, and look who's close. Taking advantage of it, but he doesn't even get the kill. It was Leo further back assisting. 2 guns trained on that angle. And I think both players red to be on this flank at this point. Definitely now with Redgar finding that. Time to fade back and play the 4v2.
They brought Chronicle low, but, well, Sayf would have to basically toggle on an aimbot if he's going to have any chance of taking home this round. A huge resurgence.
Very willing on this Astra to be the last man in, to be watching the back a lot of the time. He's also willing to be the first man in, but when it comes to playing against someone like NagZ, I think he, alongside that utility from Alpha, are going to play a huge role in just keeping him boxed in. For now, NagZ hasn't been thrown out as a satellite. Instead, he's with the squad, looking to move their way towards this A site. A deep orb thrown through. This will block off all vision for Derke. Prowler actually, I don't think, caught them there. The wall was blocking vision anyway, so they know that these players are coming either way. Though that information found, and Derke straight through the orb. It's not a wall. He can walk right through it and take the kills. 2 already, and he's faded back. Nade online, ready to go. And these players still need to pick that spike up and get it back on the ground and activate it. Swarm Grenade might buy them time. There's a gap. There's a little gap.
Yeah, we've seen statistically FNATIC have been fantastic in pistols, and I do think that having Derke has definitely helped out with that. See if there's going to be the ability to find any sort of response. Jamppi's stuck in the mud at the back of the site. And, well, they're running out of time now to sort of find anything. get that plant through. Derke feeling confident and just clears them out.
So Team Liquid won't be down and out of it just yet. And as we said in the previous time we saw a very similar buy, there are some teeth to this purchase. Not something FNATIC can disrespect.
Yeah, I do think if they manage to take the second round off FNATIC twice, I'll be very impressed. Like, I think maybe another match is okay. Again, it's just the ghosts. Is that something we've been underrating? Because we always talk about the shorty, but a chance for almost getting both kills. Yeah, he collats him. Unfortunately, the Marshall not quite as strong as the operator, and well, maybe gets a little bit greedy himself. He's now fallen.
Still, you'll take it. As long as they don't lose to anybody else in this round, they can still be relatively happy.
I think they've already lost time. They've already lost a Bulldog.
They have, but they could recover that. It should be brought to them later on. Never mind. Nice shot. Leo down, and so is Chronicle. Not again. It's all left on in the IGL. Boaster leading by example in this. And a stinger in hand. He might have an upgrade somewhere that he can grab. They've picked up a Bulldog on NagZ. Yeah. There's bodies everywhere, though.
Left.
On his way back through.
Planted.
Going through the wall, tanking the decay. The one advantage here, they don't know where he is, but the second that information falls into Liquid's hands, they should have this locked down. They've got the numbers for it. NagZ and soulcas tagged up. It makes it a little easier on that swing in towards the tree, but then you've got to deal with Sayf later and the time ticking away as well. The win conditions stacking up for Boaster. He'll tap it at first to bait them out into the open. There they are! He'll get two, but like we said, Sayf was there to close
it. Liquid is about as good as you can get. The fact is, though, even when they win these conversion rounds, they're still only going to be even with FNATIC.
That's it. I mean, for FNATIC right now, as we said before, the control seemed to be in their favor. This is a map that they look good on. But I'm curious, Team Liquid's attack, if they can do that with pistols, doing it on the defense, you know, you can get lucky with stacks. They can be caught in the cascade of utility, and you can catch them off guard. Hell, we saw that. Even Jamppi doing it to FNATIC over on the C site in one of the early rounds. The reality is, making those rounds work when you're on the attack, sure, you can coagulate with your numbers, but up against this comp from FNATIC, they should just be shutting you out and sectioning you off. Chipping away as you make your way in. But they made it work. And long-range fights with ghosts as well, like just unreal scenes.
The funny thing is basically you have to headshot, body shot, or you just have to go 2 headshots back to back. But somehow that seems to be something Liquid are able to do without really breaking too much of a sweat. And again, they're sort of playing this slow game around the map. FNATIC, they've gambled on C. 4 players here, the other on B, A site completely open, and okay, they're going to be given the sound cue, the huge display on the map of the revolving door, giving things away, but getting into a spot where they can do anything about it, well, it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, there's 12 seconds left, but that plant is coming in. I don't think there's any way to deny it. Never mind, they've denied it for at least a second, pulled him off the site. 4 seconds left. Did they kill him with that nade? If it had have landed, it could have, but Alfajer's left alone. Finds a bit of damage, but that is all there is to write about it.
It does show how much he's sort of fragging in this map, and he is pushing up. He is looking to battle and brawl, takes control pretty much on his lonesome. But on the other side, Nightfall Showstopper could be a terrifying combination if they throw it in to one of the sites.
The benefit here is huge. So Leo already got an orb, managed to sneak up close. Now he's making a lot of noise. He's jumping around, jump spotting it, grabbing the information. The idea is that if they see him there, they shouldn't expect Derke to be up close. But now, there's no contact. They've waited their 30 seconds, they've seen nothing, and no, Derke's gone! The showstopper doesn't get let loose. The C's is kept safe back. He can't claim the space he wants, but he might be on for a kill. No. A little too shallow. Leo stuck around. This is a very brave move, ambitious. He needs to get a lot done from this spot, and he'll get absolutely nothing. Team Liquid can take this wherever they want now. 5 versus 3.
There was a world where you see Leo getting a free kill or two there, and he maybe turns the round on his head. Utility going to be mostly destroyed by the nanoswarms, but it still buys that little bit of extra time. Alpha on side, only able to get the one. Sayf sacrifices himself so the team can get the space in the trade. And although there's going to be a little bit of damage off the utility, you now have to call into question, okay, is this worth risking? Or do you want to just hold on to the weaponry?
No, this is a save. I find it hard to believe they go for anything else, and just look at that body language. We're already seeing these players make that call. Another round for Team Liquid. And, you know, after losing that pistol, I did start to worry a little bit that FNATIC might run away with things, but the response was there immediately. Yeah. And Liquid are fighting pound for pound up against FNATIC. They're not falling into these pitfalls. Their XX are looking good, and even the way they're pushing and pulling the map is looking fantastic. This is a much stronger squad than the last time they faced, and Boaster, well, he's got some protection.
Yeah, that's the thing you have to bear in mind with this mapping. It was Carmine call.
Right.
10 rounds. The only team to get to double digits.
So what do we,
Liquid
what do we
the
conclude from that?
Zaysha's a god.
There you go. Hey, I'm all right with that conclusion. Backside, tough to play here. Utility falls on you a lot of the time, and there's the paranoia. There goes the C's up behind, forced into the open, and he is down and out of the round. Chronicle was there to support him, but now he's falling back, a nade right on his feet, and the shells will get him. Boaster, the next line of defense, Odin in hand, good for one. The spray's coming through, but he swung on, and NagZ will punish. The smoke not down in time. It would have helped the defenders in that moment, but almost timing it perfectly as that player falls. FNATIC now left in a 2v4. Odin picked up by Derke. He's trying to deny the plant. But again, once the smoke fades, this becomes very difficult to get done. That almost got him. That was so damn close. A haircut for NagZ. He's 16 HP down in the water. Nobody wants to be the first one to step on site. Look at that delay power. But it starts to look like maybe they're faking, maybe they're going somewhere else. Good plant spot. Nade coming through, predicting that they'll go there. I'll get some damage maybe. Oh, maybe not. It didn't even hit him. The box protected him entirely. Unlucky.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If they get a kill, Nightfall, maybe there's an opportunity, but now again, it just falls into a save. Liquid are going to be taking the lead. They're looking incredibly good on this attack so far, and FNATIC, it seems almost like a bit of a flash in the pan, a slow start once again, but the thing that is always just there, it's like the pit of my stomach just thinking, at any moment, this team can turn up. Any moment, Derke can have a round. So you can see how controlled things are looking right now for Liquid. They are waiting down that clock, making sure that spike is going off, and then they're going to go hunting.
I don't think they'll make it quite far enough to catch these players. My bet would be both of those rifles carried through to the next round.
For this a little bit earlier on, but in the meantime, Liquid are currently leading their way straight towards the seaside. Now this might just be for some early orb control, potentially going to look to get the Viper's Pit, maybe the lockdown of their own, but instead they're actually just playing contact. Look at it walk through, they know there's been an Odin here, and instead they're just going to put the pressure. Boaster just has to retreat.
Yeah, he's not too upset about that, but losing Chronicle, that's going to put a bit of a dampener on this situation. He is seized up, spraying back and getting Redgar. A good kill for Boaster, but he won't be able to deny that plant. The nade has sectioned him off completely. That means Team Liquid get to set up outside of the site. The key thing being Jamppi still has that lockdown. It's not easy to use here. Not easy to use.
He can use it as a counter, though. That's the thing.
Exactly.
If Alpha now tries to use his, throw it in, they can do the same on the other side by exactly the same amount of time.
Good spot.
And FNATIC almost have to just push in here. They have to start moving forward. Now, they've cleared Sayf. That was the sort of danger man within the site. And now they're just trying to destroy that lockdown. I don't know if it's going to work out. So they have to retreat all the way back, buying a lot of time, but also removing a lot of the danger of that Cosmic Divide, which will now look to fade as they get slowly picked apart. Alpha can only do so much.
It's insane. 10-8 right now. Team Liquid upsetting my pick'ems, that's for damn sure.
Oh, mine are messed up.
Yeah, they're already. It's in the bin. You might as well get someone else through to the final for it. But it's a good sign, seeing the rest of EMEA catch up on FNATIC as well. There was a time where that wasn't possible, when this man, Alfajer, would just tear your team apart. But he only gets one this time. And up close, Boaster. Oh, he doesn't, I mean, why would you expect it? Look at that position from Redgar.
No.
Okay, there won't be a punish on the back of it. Could have been an awkward duel. Instead, they're just gonna group up and push Boaster on the side.
Again, just farming those orbs early in the round. Something FNATIC themselves have done quite regularly. And once again, building into the seaside. The execution on this side of the map has been sublime. Constantly forcing FNATIC to play a sort of retake setup, not really being able to hold any level of control because of all the utility that's been going through. Really nice shot from Boaster. The spam through the wall does a fair bit of damage, and they're actually going to hightail it. Jamppi has taken so much control.
30 seconds left.
They're aware they gave it up, but a split-second mistake from Chronicle. He's too late to turn around when he makes it round the corner. I like the attempt to wall bang through. But the plan does come in inside the Viper's pit, and this will be very difficult to fight back into. They've only dropped one. The spray is good on the box. Boaster getting tagged up a little more. Derke on one. NagZ is fallen. Pit is down, and Jamppi, they can't do it.
Oh my God.
Somehow, they have walked away with a victory in this round, and once that pit went up, I thought it was over.
I feel like Leo, sometimes and spam through almost a taste of their own medicine here.
Oh, it was a little. Derke ended up tagged pretty heavily. Sayf's gonna fire, he's gone! The showstopper helped him evade the paint shells. He'll get a kill for his trouble, but the return is instantaneous from FNATIC. Their advantage will be held for now.
I think he was waiting to see if anyone would run through the door.
Yeah, of course. He's trying to spray it quickly because that should be their point of contact if they were going to kill him. It makes sense, it just looks quite funny. But yeah, with Sayf tagged up and left down on 12 HP, FNATIC, man advantage, Viper's pit to recover.
Boaster is as well.
Yeah, and great information. This does seem like maybe they get a plant, but the post plant will be an incredibly tough battle for this squad.
Just wait to see what Alpha does. Because a lot of the time, the things that this guy will do, the risks that he will take.
Spike planted.
Not this time. Waiting for the rotation to come through for the rest of the team. They're also flanking in. NagZ has at least spotted that, holding now that that turret is offline. But unfortunately, he's not going to win that fight.
Now cut out in the open. An easy kill. Sayf, though, might be able to catch them off guard. A side angle for one. Stops the defuse for now. One away from grabbing a nade as well. With 12 HP, that's probably his best bet here. Again, it's going to be tapped. Again, it's going to be tapped. And now Sayf knows he had to go through that smoke. He had to take that kill. And there were going to be two guns ready for him to do just that. Saving is the only option. That pits up right away on C. Funny that they still have the backup, right? You're still leaving Alfajer here with his utility. Again, maybe expecting that hit to come through, but it's also covering your back. It's pretty important up against this squad. Boaster, you are making me a very happy man. I hope you know that. He is so close to getting safe as well. He looks to the corner. Oh, it's just to the left and he doesn't know.
That does remind me of yours, actually. It got 0 damage.
All right, Tom, that was uncalled for. There was no need for that.
Chronicle's got down. I don't know if that was just a raw spam into the smoke that came out. That was Jamppi from B. That was Jamppi from B that got that. That's such a weird. I need to see that on a replay. I don't know how he's just managed to take out Chronicle, but whatever he did, definitely problematic. Not quite onto the plant either. And while the push through from Sayf is going to drop Boaster, I think again this might just have to be a position where they save him. Redgar might not even allow them to. Already pushing all the way up.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah, that save is definitely the idea for the end of this round over on FNATIC. But it's not even Redgar. Look at NagZ as well. Never mind. You can't look at NagZ. He is dead.
You can look at his body.
Yeah, we could. What a wonderful view that would be. I think for FNATIC, they're going to have to just save over towards the tree now, tuck themselves in, because you're going to want to take that op out of their hands. You know that for sure.
Sorry, what?
What? No, because they're saving. They're saving the weapons of the tree, Tom.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you did.
You don't understand that?
Yeah, you didn't say something sus.
No,
I don't think that
okay.
happened, but it did.
Oh, up top, hello! What an attempt, and he's shot down! Sayf out of this round, the showstopper. I'm not sure that's how they intended to use it, but that'll work. It's actually quite rare to even get the kill on the guy up there. Like, so often it's going to go past him and hit the wall behind, but that was pinpoint accurate.
Derke doesn't miss.
No, he doesn't.
Derke
He doesn't. Heat seek and missile, dude.
He's the anti-Rosa. Here we go, though. An advantage for FNATIC once again. soulcas still with his Nightfall online as they do look to move towards this A site. But look at the FNATIC rotation. Already 3 players starting to circle this site. But with pressure being thrown in towards the broken door, it starts to call maybe into question if they've got to rotate a player back. You can see Alpha firmly dedicated in his turret, yet to have any contact. So because of that, FNATIC can't afford to just leave their players within this site.
Not a ton of utility to be thrown out by Liquid either when they make this push through. It won't be too uncomfortable to defend against. Jamppi lobbing over some of those nanos to try and cause problems, push players out of position, but FNATIC had this on lockdown. 2 players on site, 2 watching the other avenue. Seems like for Team Liquid, turning tail is the only solution, but there's 15 seconds left. They've got to go. It's now or never. And they're running right into Boaster, ripping them to shreds with that Odin. Good night and sweet dreams to this round for Team Liquid. FNATIC coming out with the rifles. Now the big boy's in his hands. We'll see what he gets done. He's going ambitious. Out through the door, looking for the peak. He's swinging in with an operator, and they never expected it.
And as quickly as he's in, he's out. Already gone. And again, it's just allowed for some earlier rotations. Chronicle bringing his util, but that pressure is being thrown in. The spike a little bit further behind, and you can see, once again, they're set up ready to try and deny any form of post-plant. soulcas is looking to almost fight for this. And actually, they're going to try and take towards the spawn, I reckon. He's got his nightfall ready to go.
It might be the right play here. Try and deny some of that space, try and get these players out of position. The Odin spraying away for damage. The trades coming in from Alpha. They were so focused on taking him down. They for 11? You're losing sleep tonight, as well as the map. Boaster smoked off, but he gets the info. The jump spot is solid. He knows these players are closing in the distance. It's going to be fighting for that orb control again, I imagine. We're not going to see them follow. Actually, the A and B players are shifting over. The spike's being picked up. Maybe they are going to blitz C.
As I said, it's definitely looked like their biggest strength so far is their fights towards the C site, or even if that fails, falling back to B. I think their A site takes have been a little rough. Double operator for the defensive side as well. You can see Alpha pushed up, and it means that, again, they can start gambling those rotations back over to the C site already. Leo hightailing it in that direction. They've got so much map control. You can understand why they're going to start taking these risks, expecting players to be towards that connector, but they've got to deal with Boaster. Planting without him dying is a problem, and the spam through, maybe a bigger one. Leo's managed to find a kill straight back, but the aggression this time works out. They're going to take that man advantage, and, well, no one can stop the plant for now.
Oh, that should have been a free kill, but good movement. Close to the doorway at least. Derke survives, but now he's going to thrive. 1v4, Odin in play. Already grabs the first. He's up on site in an instant. He could spam through the very tippity top of the mound maybe, but the advantages aren't massive. He's going to have some of the best shots of his life here. All three players lining up now in a firing squad. One behind the mound, one behind the wall, and it's off soulcas's contact when he's too far. Already secured your spot. Not knowing the format of Japan will certainly put some questions in their minds, though, right? This could literally be the game to send them to champs, depending on how that format plays out.
Yeah, we don't know. Maybe it'll be the two EMEA teams have two of the spots in the
It could be
the playoff stage.
It could
already.
be just making finals. It could be winning finals. You never know. We have 4 slots, so it's
you got to play to the whistle. That's what I've always been told.
That's exactly it. You got to play to the whistle. I love that. Well, for FNATIC, they're making their way to B, and this might not be the best play. Killjoy setup here. They had players ready to go. They still do. And mainly what I'm thinking about is soulcas. He's got to see he's ready whenever they're going for these pushes. A lot of the time, his utility has been well-timed, but he's moved out now towards the A site. Instead, it's going to be back up from NagZ, who's already tagged low. So is Derke, but he's just flying in. Doesn't give a damn. Has a nade, could lob it in. No, instead, he's just going himself. This guy's insane. 11 HP, and they're not even going to look his way. Little more awkward than it should have been, but it's okay.
He eventually goes down, but it's an easy trade for Alpha. Putting this round firmly in the hands of FNATIC. They're going to need some heroics on that Liquid side. Whoa, that's a decent start from Redgar. Takes down one. soulcas looking for that fight, but, well, he's found it and given the information over to the other side. 15 seconds left, still no plant. Will eventually come through, though. soulcas maybe expecting that to be more of a bait, and, well, for Redgar, there's just no space to be found.
He's gone for the glass cannon on this, and he'll be the last man standing trying to convert this round. 3 players to take down, and they get him through the smoke. FNATIC again with a chance to...
He's still respectable 21, but that has been the difference, the slight difference. And that margin might just be enough to grant FNATIC their first map. Still, they've got to do it on this defensive side. And while both teams have proven to just be that little bit stronger over on the attack.
Yeah, most definitely. It's what's going to give first for Team Liquid's attack. Taking it very slowly. This is much more of a default than I think we've seen them play in the majority of rounds. Maybe expecting FNATIC to have some ideas that they want to push through on. but nothing will be found. With a minute left on the clock, they have no map control past what they get at the start of the round and rubble, but it's not really worth much, especially when you're looking at C site having both a Viper and a Killjoy in play. I think they're going to fake A here. I mean, there's a lot of noise being made. They're burning a ton of utility, and we've seen it from FNATIC on their attack side and how they love to push and pull, how they love to fake it out, give presence, show just how many players are here, and then get the kill elsewhere. Redgar onto Chronicle. That opens up C a little bit, but as we said, you still have Alpha over that side of the map.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, now the time becomes a huge issue for the side of Liquid. 25 seconds. Derke is using their own smoke against it. Now they are going to actually use the snake bite and now try and split back. The thing is though, Leo was waiting, watching for them to try and make this move. Derke finally taken down by Timmy, but now Jamppi's all that left. 10 seconds to try and make this work, and you can see Alpha's gone. But he will get the plant. He's managed to grab the spike and escape in the last second. Boaster, does he take a risk here? No, he's gonna have to wait this one out, and with the lockdown, he can buy a little bit of extra time.
Oh my God, this is winnable somehow for Jamppi. After all this and tagged up on Boaster, it's the Alpha trade that you're worried about, and that's why it comes through in the end. Lockdown destroyed, and Team Liquid in much the same state. That map is done. 14-12, the biggest challenge for FNATIC so far. You know, knowing this guy, Flash goes down, nobody's there. He's going through the TP and looking to kill them again, punish them. And this time they've got pistols, lighter weapons. It's not somewhere you need to use the showstopper. It's not somewhere you need to feel pressured to put that utility down, but they've got to play ready for retaking bathroom control. It's why they've got this wall down from Viper. Redgar's managed to make his way in and, yeah, starting to surround some of these players. They don't go for the TP in the end, leaving Bath wide open. And now this has turned into a round where maybe you want to use that showstopper if the opportunity presents itself. There's some chances.
If they hear Redgar, if they hear it, that's the thing.
Spike as well.
Yeah, I was thinking he's in such an aggressive position that it was almost just waiting to see if anybody pushed off of it. But yeah, having the only rifle took a big risk to try and get something done in the round, and in the end it ends up being...
Yeah, they've got everything. I mean, no orbital strike at least is an upside, but plenty that they can execute off of. Viper's Pit, I'm not even sure where we're going to see that used. You know, right now, Chronicle sat up inside of Hookah, but I think it's more being saved for a rainy day.
Yeah, with Sayf one off the showstopper, at least in the early stages of the round, it looked like FNATIC were winning to almost battle for that orb control. You see aggression from Derke, same pressure being put in over onto B main spot as well. Flash deep is going to give them info that there's still a player there. I'm not going to call for any rotations as of yet, but again, Liquid are very happy to sort of play these slow rounds. I love the fact that a lot of Alpha's util is basically just the same as what Sky is doing. It's an early warning system to get them rotations if they need them.
Yeah, now they're going to find out they need them. They've also spotted one man, but a rocket comes through. Damage on the soulcas, no kill. That player goes swinging through the teleporter. Here comes some support, though. Derke follows him, steaming through, and okay, Jamppi's gonna get caught. Now they know he's close, doesn't matter. Able to win the fight, flash into Hookah. Where are they going with this one, though? The Seekers pop out, 3 players here. They've got the info, but they've got the site, he's gone in! Absolute lunatic of Redgar. I thought we were gonna see a TP there. They saw 3 people on B, only 1 A, but they didn't want to mess with the Cypher util, I guess.
It's also just the time. Aggressive position, a deep cam to help him out. And I wonder here if Liquid are maybe going to pick up the pace a little bit. These slow rounds seem to be playing into the hands of their opponent. NagZ is lucky to be alive, but so is Derke.
Already got rid of a wire and a cam. I mean, a decent start for Team Liquid, a vacuum of information for FNATIC to play with, and Derke has to go for a heal as well. So this is really upsetting their mid-round on this defensive side. Maybe not upsetting, but it's certainly forcing their hand a little bit. They're stacking up on B, a rotate coming through from Boaster, and just look at the util that they have. You know, orbital strike, post plant come in, drop a Viper's Pit. That defuse is going to be very dangerous. So they have a ton to work with and don't need to feel pressured if they do lose control over A site. Playing post plant is fine.
Oh, he actually misses again. That's not something that's going to happen too often. And Redgar finding that opener is huge. Now they're going to use the showstopper in towards this B site, just hoping to find anything here. It's a completely blind Chronicle, left confused in the site, and Sayf has just taken over. You said they needed an entry man. Well, he's done far more than that.
Yeah, something to get you in the site. And The showstopper doesn't even play any effect there. It's just Sayf firing off, and those players quickly trying to get back in towards the site, but I don't think they actually knew where Sayf was. That player was blind, and he got killed. Maybe it was from hookah. Maybe you never know. It wasn't, though, as they found out the hard way. Alpha, 1 versus 3. Maybe the word save floats around normally, but not in this man's head, and that's why. Had a good chance, but Nat sideswipes him to put the round in Liquid's hands.
Credits are off the charts as well. It's more so worth.
Well, credits have been thrown at this round. Getting an operator out on Derke again, as we said. The ultis are most certainly online on both sides. A ton to play with, but it's the Viper's Pit that's used by FNATIC immediately, and it's not a post-plan setup, it's inside of Bath. Trying to lock down that control with just one man. Obviously, then you'll notice as well the Viper wall put over towards the B site. So this is like, he doesn't need to use his utility on A at all. Mid is locked down by Cypher, and then if you need it, he has a smoke that's going to deal a bit of decay over on B. It's a strong round from the squad.
Well, that's the consistent thing that's sort of enjoyable about watching FNATIC is that, as I said, there really haven't been 2 setups that have been the same. It's difficult to read. Now, this is the sort of classic FNATs, and I think he has managed to bypass all of the utility. Now, this is something that Alpha should be aware of, and especially with the flash going through the smoke, you almost have to feel that they'll have this idea again, though. As I said, I didn't think it would work out again, trying to face off against Derke, and now they are going to go pushing off of NagZ's position. It seems like Boaster might expect him to be here. Timing is going to be absolutely everything. NagZ wins that initial duel, but now he's been spotted! The fade utility from soulcas, perfect!
They know that this man's up close, but they can't deal with Chronicle. Snakebite firing through as well, making it difficult. That plant under threat from a spam even. They're able to make it out. Team Liquid, though, have lost numbers. The advantage now sitting instead towards FNATIC. 2 players spotted there. They know there's 1 bat. That's all the info to play with. For FNATIC, they need to group up and push this one together. Derke already going to be tapping and forcing these players out. Blast Pack not going to push them off the defuse, and that's it. It's under their nose. They haven't even pushed them off. I think they might have thought early. Have a little chat.
Wait, those interviews aren't live.
Well, 5-3. FNATIC looking good. Team Liquid on their last legs economically. Bulldogs coming through here.
That's a big start.
I've got Derke for sure.
That was wallbang through the TP as well. It's again him trying to sort of take a risky peek. We've seen the same horn go through, this time destroyed. Chronicle stuck in the corner, no chance here. NagZ, he's on a tear. The same over the last round, looking for that fight that could just close the round, but instead, this time he falls back, and I think that's the right decision.
Yeah, grouping up together. Snakebite and an orb still to play with. That orb could make its way onto the spike. It has.
There.
Okay. On the site, these players are going to have to deal with post-plant Viper utility. Snakebite's already up and over. It's buying them a little bit of time. It actually came in early, to be fair, so it might actually open them up. They've tapped it. These players need to come through and swing. Now they've seen that's not being diffused. Another bait, but Jamppi wins the duel, and that's it done. Time already too far gone. Leo, his best chance just to get out of here, make it costly. He'll do that. Some damage, but Team Liquid more than happy to take that round. He doesn't want to cover that angle.
Short 1 ways out. Also that same deep cam placed by Alpha. Something that has basically made sort of gaining that bathroom's control a little bit tougher. Again, though, Liquid start things off nice and slow. The thing is, this is something we've spotted a lot of the time, even going back to the mech Gambit days of just giving that little bit of extra time for NagZ to maybe find a gap. This time, though, it seems like the full team are starting to set up onto the other side. Redgar might just be trying to sell some sort of elusive fake. And again, the main goal here, get into that after plant, use that Viper's Pit, and have that control.
A lot of teams started to spam those walls. You see NagZ is on the server, but Team Liquid have been able to get this control for free now. Crossing over, getting lamps. No ulti to counter them. And finally, we see that pick come through. Again, it's not going to be played on the spike. Instead, it's played to catch these players coming back through. That leaves the spike players open. They've already lost 1. Tiger going through as well, trying to locate this Viper, who's playing far outside of her pit for now. Good kill on Derke. Flank control completely locked down.
Not ready yet.
And I mean, fighting through this. Well, they've let it fall. They've played outside of it.
That's the thing. They really don't need it. Their post plant actually doesn't have any sort of plan based around this little piece. A big kill for Leo, but I think, again, the time is just too far gone. They've been able to delay off the back of the Viper's pit. They've been able to get that after plant in a solid position, and FNATIC have just realized there ain't no way we're going to have the time to clear out all the remaining players back towards mid when we spent our utility clearing a pit that didn't actually play that much of a part in the round.
Well, whether it was the Jamppi or the pit, you know, all this util was coming at him, and he just played further back, thinking, hey, let's play the 4v3. We've got the time. We've got a player late outside of Bath as well. Like, everything was going their way. They come into round 11, and I think, you know, showstopper on Derke, but showstopper on Sayf. This could be a hell of a round.
It's worth noting as well that we saw this map versus Na'Vi and Liquid manage 9 rounds on their defensive side. So in a pretty good spot right now. A lot of teams do struggle with this attack. I will say FNATIC in the past, not really been one of them. They were always the masters of the post plant, but it definitely seems with their agent choices, there's a lot of investment into this defensive side. The Cypher being one of the main focuses there, but for now at least, Liquid have things even. Even still though, we know that even in the late, especially in the late game, that's where FNATIC come alive. For now again, patient play from Liquid. This time they are going to get late control towards the bathrooms, an orb ready if they need it, but they might just want to sneak past as it would give the game away.
Showstoppers traded, both active. One man's on the floor, Derke dodges, but Sayf's got the weapon out first. Nade on its way, pressure under Chronicle, he's gone. Boaster, they know he's here. They've heard him, they've seen him, and they're ready to take him down, but Boaster, he gets one before he falls. It puts his teammates in a winnable position. 10 seconds left, and the spike has to be planted. Leo toying with them. He stepped up close, stopped the plant with just his footsteps. Now he needs to do it with his weapon, but Jamppi's got the shorty again!
Closes out the round. Liquid are definitely here to play today, and while one of the weaker buys we've seen from FNATIC in the early aggression, it gets them info, but not much more.
Yeah, I mean, one player sitting outside of Hookah, very, very passive as well. It certainly doesn't sell any intention. We're going to see a flash down be long, I'd imagine. Emerging through that smoke, but it's now faded, so they'll be rounding the corner, if anything. No, Derke's just going in dry, looking for the fights. Now he's got support up close. Boaster and himself shifting back and forwards. I wasn't sure if they were taking the fight. Maybe they weren't sure either. That's a lot of information. I believe that they spotted Leo backside.
I think somebody shot at it as well, so I think that might have been the information they needed. Quick push through Derke. He's not wanting to give up this control. It's movement like hell from Sayf to get around the corner, but Derke quicker this time on the trigger. Leo waiting in the corner. They've spotted the ball back, but they haven't been able to clear him. Even hits the dink on the final bullet, doing a little bit of extra damage, but not much at all.
There it is. Plant denied for a moment. It lets these players get into position, and key is Derke. This man is sneaking up behind them, and they have no iota of what's about to happen. That plant tapped again to see if more utility will make its way in. Nothing. It's another tap, and now there won't be a chance to plant it. Derke has shut them down. 10 seconds left. Redgar with a double, but Derke's still here, and he's got an nade. It's making its way to backside. That might land right beside NagZ. He'll give his life to get the plant, but he'll get it done, buying them that extra couple of seconds. But Boaster has to win this fight, and he will! FNATIC neck and neck at halftime thanks to that play.
A huge round from Derke. Like, he starts things off with an aggressive peek down long, fighting tooth and nail versus them, goes all the way around to come
the second half. We are neck and neck starting out the game again.
Right, so they got to kill Derke because the pistols that have been won by FNATIC, he got a 3K, a 4K, the one he died, they didn't win. So
or
kill Derke, win round.
Let them win the pistol and then win the follow-up.
That's
the way
also
to go.
true, that works as well.
The Team Liquid strategy. Well, FNATIC have certainly got a lot of space. Plant coming down, and that's a feature of this map from what we've seen so far. The plant coming in before a fight, and it's the duel for the attacker's side that works out in Sayf's favor. Might put some pressure on these long players. But it's the util, right, that they normally have, but this time it's only a molly. They've used their snake bites.
Yeah, the thing is they've left Derke behind. Now you kind of expect there to be this post plant. He hasn't been caught by the C's either, so he's just sat waiting. They have all run past him. This is not a man you can afford to let go unchecked. And he's watching, seeing that there's nobody on this spike at the moment. Chronicle is just killing everyone off. Derke is still just sat within him, but he actually takes so much damage from that Molotov. Even still though, it's left onto Redgar, and Boaster will kill off him and his teammate.
They had no chance from that point forward. FNATIC, they've gone for Boaster's Marshall, so maybe you are onto something with the scoped weapons a little later on. And that's not how you want that one to go. Right away, Derke's down to pistols. Why did they buy rifles?
No, it's absurd how much they're able to do. But again, I think these ghosts coming through might genuinely just be like, okay, if they're going to go light shields, we'll just keep buying the ghost, going for those sort of like headshot, chest shot, and that it's enough to get it over the line. It is the one sort of detriment that we have with this sort of lower buy of the shields, is that you are more vulnerable to weaker weapons.
Well, just look at NagZ and Jamppi, like you can see their HP is being drained completely. That's a free kill from Alfajer on that range. Cage up, no fear of being pushed, and the spike is on its way. So, we're getting some information. All right, they certainly did get the information on where he was. Another for Boaster, and he is, you know, it's invaluable having these. No, why did you plant? Bad teammate. Well, maybe you can get this final kill.
You just call Leo a bad teammate.
Yeah, Leo's famously a terrible teammate. Bad, he doesn't support anyone.
The VLR forums are currently going to be making just end Mitchman thread.
Look, we've long said Leo was one of the best in the world. I think we can get away with it.
It's all right though. No one rational reads those anyway.
Well, shame that my boy Derek's already dead there on FNATIC. Everybody else in a sweet spot. And, you know, I don't blame Boaster for going out looking for some more. One away, even if he dies, give him a Marshall. Yeah, you're welcome to it. He doesn't want them to die to the spike. He wants them to die to him, or at least give him the orb for free.
Yeah, he had to sacrifice himself because he wasn't allowed to get that orb, but ultimately the remaining players of Liquid will go down to the spike and not re-clear of lamps. You can clear the backside of B. Both spots that can be very difficult to sort of get players out of the tube if you want to. It's a map with such tight corners. Obviously we're going to see the same FNATIC snake bite that we've seen for many a time. It has been stolen by everyone. Close clear in towards B long. Again, a tentative, patient start. At the hunt for information from Liquid, they're going to send through that Prowler. Obviously, they don't have the Cypher on the other side. That was something that was quite impactful for FNATIC. It's just how much information they're able to keep. Not just get initially, but keep with all of the Cypher util that they have. It was something that Liquid had to actively look to destroy. It's something that Liquid don't have as an option themselves. They need to either take space or consistently use all the utility of their initiators.
There's only 40 seconds left to make a decision, and FNATIC are still spread in a default. Nobody able to trade on those sort of fights late on in the round. Smoke down, rifle back out, but he's a little late getting through the wall. Derke was waiting. soulcas now stuck behind the boxes. He has support coming through in the form of Sayf, but he's caught nade in hand. soulcas has to go huge for them to have a chance. The spike is on its way. It's being planted as we speak. 20 seconds on the clock, and it won't be denied. Now they've got to fight their way back into it. He's wise to wait for his teammates here. I think it was the better call. You kill the planter, they're going to trade you and just plant right after. Look at Derke. Secondary weapons being pulled out, and that's why. Up close and personal. Nade through to cover. Chronicle there to support. That's what you love to see.
Low. They're so low. Like, there's a world where both of those players die and Liquid have a way back into this round. But
you know what that world is? It's if they both take those fights alone. But they don't. They fight together instead.
Yeah. And now you look at soulcas, the man who started this round off, looking to try and maybe pad the stats a little bit. Had a quieter attack side half, just a single kill for him, but we know that a lot of the time he is sort of the backbone of Liquid, that supportive utility being thrown through. Like, the amount of times his haunt had impact was pretty much off the charts to some degree. But he'll make this one a little bit more.
Just pistols. They've got a bit of utility to play with, but these are the very buys that we've seen have success in the past. Bolstered down by a rifle on soulcas, and using a very similar wall to what we saw from FNATIC. The pressure now on. Oh, he's caught on the way out. It's almost cost him his life.
He's lucky to be alive. Very, very lucky to be alive. And even still, that's forcing them into impossible positions. Boaster maybe unlucky not to get a kill there, and they're trying as they might with these pistols. Sayf has forced a retreat completely, and I'll be honest, with 23 HP, it's almost just the amount of time that's going to be wasted off this clock. Like,
Yeah.
a long rotation back and nothing to play with.
Yeah, in these moments, it is almost certainly going to amount to nothing, especially with just a Sheriff. But the reality is he's got to play it like he's going to win it. You start that by making your way towards the B site quite quickly. He's not saving. He needs to die. Maybe it's to the spike. But as a Raze at this stage of the game, I think that orb is more valuable in his pocket than it is in any of theirs. So it's okay for him to go forward and die to one of these players, especially Alfajer.
He's not done that on purpose.
That's a misclick. I think the big smile on Derke's face and the fact that wow, that's something. 10-6, and FNATIC, yeah, they are looking fantastic.
The funny
so
thing
far.
is, if that was Na'Vi, we would have heard on Twitter later how that was actually on purpose.
That was entirely intentional.
Just like when they 3 times in a row accidentally picked Yara on Fracture, you know?
All right. All right. Well, 4 rounds between them. Team Liquid need to step it up here and now. It's the operator coming in on Redgar, and the operator on Alfajer for the attack side as well. They attempt to scope out this situation. And it's going to be the B site that they lean towards. Long control for Alfajer as he looks to punish. And it's a good time as well. I don't think they've got any info that there's players on long. You know, they've obviously been throwing out their Sky utility. There's some free information. The Tigers making its way in.
Yeah, they know there's at least a couple of players going in the direction of this site. Sayf's position up close. Not been checked, not been spotted. A chance for him to go huge. Jamppi just killed everyone. Never mind. And now he's completely blind.
No.
He's been robbed of kills and robbed of a teammate. And well, now the rotation coming through. FNATIC have done well to weather the storm that's coming, and it's not going any better. It's left all onto soulcas again.
I'll find you.
3 kills to his name. He needs to double it. And he's not even going to expect this player in the corner. Leo will get a triple. FNATIC now running away with this on their attacker side. Quite aggressive across the map. Deep push in with a Haunt on towards A. Maybe trying to bait out that there's some control elsewhere. Alfajer as well into an operator. So I think FNATIC might have been expecting something to come through here. Now going to get spotted out with that Tiger, but look at Sayf going walkabouts, trying to take this round into his own hands. He is in the perfect spot to cause them issues. Is this going to be checked by Derke? No, it's not, but he's playing it patient, hoping maybe to get a little bit more than just 1 kill, and it'll be 2. Damage onto Derke as well, not a bad start at all.
Excellent trigger discipline displayed by Sayf. The damage onto Derke is huge. Leo's dead, so there's no healing that back up. Bulldog not able to win the fight, though. That's a little awkward for Redgar. Caught off guard by the timing of the swing. Despite a fantastic opening to this round, they're coming back to pretty close to neck and neck. Team Liquid cannot afford to lose this one. They put their credits on the line. Good kill onto Derke. Finally, but it's traded. Remember, he was only a sliver of HP. This is a huge trade back for FNATIC.
30 seconds
And the
left.
information let them know where the last 2 players were. It's probably one of the most impactful maps for neural thefts. You almost have to leave players behind now. Vulnerable for a second, but no real move off of this. soulcas just looking to try and hit something on the cross. He's going to spot both players. So a lot of information. It means that quickly Nats can reclaim ground that they otherwise would have had to clear. Snakebite out deep, leaves both players trapped towards this right side, and they look to fight this together, look to push through as this firing squad awaits them on the other side, and it's only going to be the one. Boaster.
4 of them. But the problem is that you have 6 rounds to use them.
And their weaponry's kind of poop while they're at it as well.
It's going to be tempting to fire it all in here, leave nothing on the table, but then what do you have for the other 5? Do you think FNATIC won't have that 1 ult round of their own? They're starting to build them up. 3 away from Orbital Strike, 3 away from Showstopper, 2 away from Pit. It doesn't sound that big of a deal, but if you use all your ultis now, they're going to have 4 of them. 2 rounds from now, I'd say at most. This is a big, oh, okay, here we go. Nats already. He's gonna try it, but Derke's on him! See ya! Double barrel gets the kill, and Derke, okay. He's not able to follow up with more, but he's left soulcas on 5 HP. Sayf is blocked out by a molly for a second. It slows his progress, and when he emerges, he'll get the kill. Okay, they're back in this round on Team Liquid. Back in with a chance. Great nade as well. Chronicle, he's not actually gonna receive any damage. Must have went through the door. It did, it got caught in the doorway. they might even think that he's not here now because of that.
Oh, well, they definitely know now. First and second kill come through for Chronicle. So many clutch players on this FNATIC side.
5 HP.
And just for a moment, you thought that Liquid would get around on their defensive side, but it is not today. FNATIC on the attack side of Bind are unstoppable. And just like that.